Among the lower levels of Coruscant, a lot goes on. Drug deals, too extreme to be known by the rest of the Jedi Council. Clubs, where people die. Multiple thousands upon thousands of murders. And acts of thievery. Some far great, some minor. Most not cared for by the rest of the Jedi, or any of the Jedi in particular. So, these gangs and mobs live on free to do as they please. No repercussions necessary. And that is how they make their way of life. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my mock showcase for my tiny depiction of level 1313. Yes, you heard me right. 1313, like the canceled Star Wars game that was set to release a long time ago. Now, this build is the first in a new series I'm going to call the Vignette series, where it's a bunch of mini mocks dedicated to non-canon Star Wars happenings. Maybe they'll have slight nods to canon, maybe they won't. It all depends on what is going on in the build. Now this one is of 1313, one of the lowest levels of Coruscant. And it is depicting a thief who has stolen a great artifact and riches from a gang of people who have made their way of life down here. So, as we see, he's running through the streets, trying to evade the two guards chasing after him, and hopefully not getting his rear end sent to jail. Now, without the context of the thieving, this is one of the more peaceful areas of 1313, being a, let's just say, adult club here. It'd be better if I showed you the window. Having an adult club kind of here in that little window right there. So this is a kind of a adult place where the higher levels of Coruscant, specifically the more gang members and stuff like that, this is where they go to run the show. Now, there is an apartment on top of the club run by, and this is the club's owner right here, and this is all part of the establishment. He is currently running the establishment, and, well, he sees his two most valuable performers coming to do their job in the club, so he's just awaiting their arrival. And then, of course, the thief comes running through, carrying gems and stuff of the sort. So, it disturbs the peace. Luckily, his exotic creature hasn't disturbed anything yet. Now, this build actually took me quite the long time to design, almost taking me half of a day, purely because, one, I had to dig through my minifig collection, trying to find all the perfect characters and creatures to shove in to make it look like it's a realm in Star Wars. Now, the main the main build I will show in further detail in just a moment, but first off, we're going to go through the minifigs and creatures. First off, we have our main character, aka the Thief, who is just an orc from the Lord of the Rings line with a sack, a bone, and a gem to kind of represent, what he's stolen. The bone is like his weapon of choice because look at him. He's actually part of another clan, another gang, which is in charge of running an underground mining coalition for resources on other planets, which they bring back to Coruscant to sell for money. But the thief is actually doing the quote-unquote right thing by thieving from the thieves who stole from his clan in this story. So away with him. Now, the other patrons, or the actual guards chasing him away, are unnamed guards, but if you want to name them, we can. Just leave good name suggestions down in the comment section of this video. They are both elves from the Lord of the Rings line as well. Pretty sure these guys all came in the same set. But yeah, these guys are just the security guards of the clan that the other guy is stealing from. And the reason you could tell they're a part of the gang is because they are using, one, the same exact shields, and two, they are wearing the same exact outfit. Kind of like the Genovese in New York. So yeah, they are wearing both the same outfit, and they both have the same shield. Obviously, they have different accessories, one of them being a staff and an arrow holster, and the other having just a freaking sword and nothing else. Putting them back. The next character I will show is the bouncer for the club, aka Mr. Freeze from the Lego Batman movie. I say he looks just enough like an alien to pass in the Star Wars universe. So yeah, he's the bouncer of the establishment. And his story is he saw the two performers, which I will be showing next, coming up to enter the club. So he opened the door, and then the thief came running through. So yeah, that's his storyline. And he's just currently watching the thief running through the establishment. Now, the first performer is a dancer of sorts. Because why not? We're in the lower levels of Coruscant. Pretty much anything is legal down here. So, yeah. Pretty hobbled together figure, but it looks good for what it is. The next performer, you all might recognize a little bit. Because it's me. Yeah, that's right, I threw myself in 1313. Because why not? As you can see, I'm carrying a backpack with my instrument. You all may know. Sorry, my room's a bit of a mess. So, yeah. I decided to throw myself in here because why not? Also, I look freaking sweet. Right. And then the final characters I'll include is one, this other dancer type character, which you guys may remember her from the Lego Nexo Knights series that was going on quite a while ago. I just gave her Poison Ivy's hair to kind of match her red aesthetic that she has going on. And I thought, yeah, she looks enough like an alien. Why not? Let's throw her in. And the final figure I will be showing today is the owner and his exotic pet, otherwise known as Hedwig. Yeah, the guy got Hedwig. There's no doubt about that. But the actual guy himself, he is one of the aliens that got featured in the Rogue One U-Wing set, along with Cassian, another rebel, Jyn Erso, and the pilot. So he was with them in that set. Or was it another? No, it was the U-Wing. I remember that was the first and only rebel ship I had up until I got the 2018 X-Wing, so yeah. But yeah. So I'm actually going to remove all of the minifigs right now. Oh, sorry. Knocked over my camera. I'm actually going to remove all the minifigs so we can take a closer look at the more hidden details of the build, just to kind of look at how it was made and what is happening in the build. So now for other things, the era that you guys want this to be in is completely up to you guys. This could be Republic era, this can be Imperial era. Don't look at the logo on the box. Yeah, this could be sequel era, this can be Legends, this could be anything y'all want. I don't really care about what year it is, on honesty, because it's a non-canon Star Wars build, so y'all get to decide this one. But I personally really love the snot techniques that I used here. Like, for instance, this doorway looking like it's sliding open. I love that look. It looks really good. And on the back, as you can see, it is just attached there using a bracket piece. Nothing too special there. The other technique I'm really proud of, and using the same kind of technique, is this door right up here. This door being personally one of my favorite door designs I've ever done because of the way that the cut in the door looks like. The other the other two snot techniques I used was this pillar right here, making it look kind of like there's a control panel just on the pillar. Because there's another building over here that would have needs for a control panel. And that's why there's a bunch of trans-blue studs here to represent like the power going through the thing. The pillar itself is actually quite simple in design. It's just two plates stacked on top of each other, and then the rest of the detail plates on top of that. Like the trans cheese slopes and all that goody stuff. And then the other snot technique I'm really proud of is practically just this entire wall right here. Because this whole part is a vent piece, kind of similar to how the old snow speeder, well, all snow speeders practically are built right there, using the plate with a gap of black in it and then another plate on top of that. So yeah, using that looks really, really cool. And it also perfectly lines up with the roof, practically enough. Well, it's close enough. And then this wall right here is literally just on purely to a hinge brick. So if I bring you all to around the back, y'all can see the very complex framework and machinery that has to go into this. That's the method for how I'm connecting this wall. It's just a stack of studs on a little hinge plate there, resting on a tile. And then for the other snot techniques, as I said, it's just bracket and brackets. Now there is a small interior, I've included here for the red dancer girl. So that's her little interior. She has a drink if she ever gets tired, and her nameplate, which you can actually see from the front, because it has kind of like a little light effect behind it, because it's showing like her name written in Arabic or whatever. Now for the apartment, upper apartment, the railing is a easy enough design to replicate, which is cool. And then I have this little stand for the exotic creature, Hedwig, right there. And as you can see, there are 4 main kind of colors that are going into this. It's sand blue, which you can see practically everywhere, like in the vent section, especially the upper apartment, the walls right here. Light gray, which is kind of thrown in everywhere. It's like and then dark gray, which is like the big color, which is the bottom of here, the floor up there, and most of, if not all, the roof up here, and the main construction of the doorway, which actually I'm really proud of this doorway and how it's constructed because of this little kind of technique right here. Kind of simulates like a little curve. And then these are actually crates down here on the bottom for these 2 pillars that lead up into the sides. I personally really like that. And I also really appreciate how I managed to incorporate this wall right here. This window. I actually really like that technique. And then dark tan for like dirt and grime and kind of rust. You know, because this is all metal mostly, so it's just dirt and rust and grime and stuff. To show it's kind of a bitter, dirty area of Coruscant, you know. No one really pays attention to this level of Coruscant unless you're a gangster or whatever. So putting all the minifigs back on for the outro here, I really appreciate you all tuning into this video and watching me talk about a new start of a new series of the Vignette project, which, as I said, is just a bunch of non-canon Star Wars builds that I decided to build because it's more Star Wars content, and also I'm an avid enjoyer of seeing non-canon stories. Looking at you, Legends content. But if you guys have another idea for non-canon or canon Star Wars MOCs you want me to build in this kind of vignette style, which actually now I'm changing it to any kind of Star Wars builds, it just has to be built on a 16x16 plate. You know, if you guys have any ideas for canon or not canon Star Wars builds that you guys want me to make in the vignette style, just leave a comment down below. I'll try to get to as many of those as I can. And do not worry, Camino is coming very soon. I am just kind of busy with other things at the moment, me being in 9th grade and all that. So I really hope you guys can leave some great suggestions in the comment section. The other mock idea I was thinking of for this vignette style was, of course, every LEGO Star Wars YouTuber has to do it at some point, Order 66. So I'm going to hopefully be building an Order 66 mock soon. You guys should keep an idea out for that in the vignette style. So hopefully that'll be a really neat video or really neat build to do. Because I've tried building multiple Jedi Temple builds in the past. None of them have exactly worked out in my favor. So hopefully with the Jedi Temple build I can kind of leave a weight off my shoulders. Also, considering I have a really good, decently sized 501st Army, there should be no problem with making an Order 66 build. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. May the Force be with you, and goodbye.